Again, based on requests from many of my subscribers, I went hunting through the eShop for the best games for around $2. During my search, I discovered some excellent titles on sale. In this video, I'll be showing 20 great games currently available at discount prices. Just make sure to pay attention to when these deals expire. Let's dive in. You're Katie, returning to your family home after a year abroad, only to find it empty. No parents, no sister Sam? Just a note asking you not to look for answers. As you explore the mansion, you piece together what happened through notes, cassette tapes, and forgotten trinkets. The house creaks and storms rage outside while you uncover a story about identity, love, and family secrets. It's not a traditional game, no enemies or puzzles, just pure exploration and emotional storytelling. The walking simulator that changed indie games forever. Grab it before the sale ends May 10th. In a realm where forgotten objects come alive, you play as Anne, the enforcer keeping order among these sentient lost items called Forgotlings. When rebellion threatens the realm and your master's plans to return home, you must make tough choices that permanently affect the story. The hand-animated style looks straight out of a Studio Ghibli film, with platforming and light puzzles driving the narrative forward. I was surprised by how the game handles moral choices with real consequences. For $2, you're getting a cinematic experience that stays with you. Sale ends May 27th.
Oh, the enforcer made you. She did a great job. Still here?
Meet a down-on-his-luck golfer trying to honor his father's legacy by returning to the sport after decades away. What starts as a simple comeback story turns into a bizarre adventure across 8 quirky courses filled with disc golf, mini golf, and even lawn mowing challenges. You'll deal with annoying country club members, grave-digging groundskeepers, and hip-hop-loving retirees. The pixel art style masks a surprisingly deep golf system with satisfying mechanics. This RPG nails the balance between heartfelt storytelling and absurd humor. One of the Switch's early indie gems worth revisiting before the sale ends April 27th. Shipwrecked on mysterious islands, Kara must hunt, craft, and sail to survive. You'll build increasingly complex boats to navigate the procedurally generated archipelago, battling harsh weather and strange creatures. The cel-shaded art style creates beautiful vistas as you uncover ancient ruins that hint at why you're really there. The survival mechanics can feel punishing at first, especially with permadeath looming over you. Still, there's something meditative about sailing across the open ocean as the soundtrack swells around you. For less than a coffee, it's worth braving these waters before the sale ends April 27th. Caroline Walker investigates the disappearance of twin girls at Winterlake Mansion, an abandoned hospital where she wakes up naked in a bathtub, hooked to medical equipment. Drawing heavily from classic survival horror, you'll solve puzzles with limited resources while avoiding grotesque creatures lurking in fixed camera angles. The atmosphere drips with dread as you piece together the hospital's disturbing history. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but delivers exactly what genre fans want: genuine scares, challenging puzzles, and a twisted story. Not for the faint-hearted. Sale ends April 27th. Control 2 brothers simultaneously as they journey to find healing water for their dying father. Each brother is mapped to a different stick and trigger, creating a unique control scheme that becomes emotionally significant as the story progresses. You'll solve environmental puzzles that require cooperation while bonding with these silent protagonists through their interactions with the fairy tale world. It's a short experience, about 3 hours, but packs an emotional punch that stuck with me for years. Joseph Fares's directorial debut remains a masterclass in storytelling through gameplay. Sale ends April 27th.
Atta!
Two robot friends walk into a planet? No, it's not a joke, but a cooperative adventure where each stick controls one leg of your robot. This simple premise creates hilarious moments as you and a friend struggle to coordinate basic movement, let alone solve the increasingly complex puzzles. There's something universally funny about watching robots tumble off platforms because you can't figure out how walking works. The colorful environments and cheerful music keep frustration at bay even when you're failing repeatedly. Perfect for couch co-op with significant others who don't normally game. Sale ends April 27th. Viking invaders are coming for your islands, and your only defense is positioning limited troops strategically across procedurally generated terrain. Each unit has strengths and weaknesses you'll discover as you desperately try to save your people. The minimalist art style belies the brutal difficulty. One mistake can mean permanent death for commanders you've spent hours developing. The tension ramps up as each boat approaches shore, releasing warriors that flood across your carefully planned defenses. It's chess with Vikings, where each island becomes a new puzzle to solve. Sale ends April 27th. Aisha is trapped in a constantly shifting cavern filled with eldritch horrors and ancient technology. As massive swarms of enemies overwhelm you, death becomes frequent, but not frustrating. You return to the central hub to upgrade your abilities before diving back in. The hand-drawn art creates a mesmerizing world that shifts between beautiful and nightmarish, especially during the screen-filling boss fights. The central choice between corrupting yourself with forbidden power or resisting shapes both gameplay and the story's outcome. A Metroidvania that nails the sense of growing power. Sale ends April 27th. Build and manage a maximum security prison while balancing inmate needs against security concerns. Riots break out when prisoners don't get showers, fights erupt in shared cells, and contraband flows through your facilities unless you implement strict measures. The campaign tells surprisingly poignant stories about the prison system through mission objectives. I found myself struggling with moral questions. Should I focus on punishment or rehabilitation? The cute visuals mask a complex simulation with genuine depth. Now's your chance to serve justice your way before the sale ends April 27th. Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. On the planet of Umbra, where rotation suddenly stopped, young scavenger Amon gets caught in a conflict between the ruling Suvian Empire and resistance forces. The turn-based combat system incorporates talent boards where you slot abilities and perks, creating flexible character builds. What starts as a standard JRPG homage develops its own identity through the bond system, where character pairs gain special abilities when fighting together. The vibrant world contains multiple biomes split between perpetual day and night sides of the planet. A solid 20+ hour adventure for less than a coffee. Sale ends April 27th. In a world where people capture and battle creatures called Nexomon, you begin your journey as a tamer, only to discover an ancient threat looming. Sound familiar? This Pokemon-inspired game embraces its influences while adding snarky dialogue and a genuinely challenging difficulty curve. With 300 creatures to collect and a story that pokes fun at the genre's tropes, there's plenty of content here. The sprite work gives the game a nostalgic 90s JRPG feel with modern conveniences. If you've exhausted Pokemon games and need a monster-catching fix, this scratches that itch nicely. Sale ends April 27th. Manny Calavera, a travel agent for the Department of Death, uncovers corruption in the afterlife's corporate structure. Set in a noir version of the Mexican land of the dead, you'll solve puzzles across a 4-year journey while meeting unforgettable characters like glowing demon driver Glottis. Tim Schafer's magnum opus blends hard-boiled detective fiction with Mexican folklore and a story about redemption and revolution. The tank controls might feel dated, but the writing, voice acting, and art direction remain timeless. One of the greatest adventure games ever made for less than a bus fare. Sale ends April 27th. In a shattered world where humanity has nearly been extinguished, you play as the Foundling, a vessel capable of possessing the shells of fallen warriors. Each shell offers different playstyles as you face grotesque enemies that hit like trucks. The combat requires patience and precision, with a unique hardening mechanic that temporarily turns you to stone mid-action. The cryptic storytelling leaves much to interpretation as you piece together the fallen civilization. Think Dark Souls, but with body hopping and a more concentrated experience. Surprisingly runs well on Switch. Sale ends April 27th. Four seemingly unrelated text adventure episodes gradually reveal their horrifying connection. The genius lies in how each segment introduces new mechanics. You'll interact with lab equipment, decode transmissions, and even explore a house, all while seated at different retro terminals. The 80s aesthetic and synth soundtrack create an unsettling atmosphere even before the horror elements kick in. I can't say much without spoiling the experience, but the narrative payoff recontextualizes everything you've done. One of the most innovative horror games in years for less than a vending machine snack. Sale ends April 27th. In a dried-up ocean world, you maintain and pilot a vessel across the wasteland, searching for answers. The gameplay loop is hypnotic, scavenging fuel, managing pressure, repairing damage, and solving environmental puzzles to progress. There's no dialogue or combat, just you, your ship, and the desolate beauty of a post-apocalyptic world. The color palette shifts between muted grays and striking reds as weather systems roll through. What makes this special is the emotional bond you develop with your machine, a contemplative experience about perseverance and moving forward. Sale ends April 27th. Place tents next to trees in a grid according to specific numerical rules. Each row and column must have a certain number of tents, and each tent pairs with exactly one tree. What starts as simple logic puzzles quickly becomes brain-bending challenges that require multiple layers of deduction. The minimalist presentation puts full focus on the puzzles themselves, with no time limits or penalties for mistakes. Perfect for playing in short bursts while commuting or before bed. With over 500 handcrafted puzzles, this will keep your mind occupied for months. Sale ends April 27th. Vela is about to be sacrificed to a monster in her village's ancient tradition, while Shay is trapped on a spaceship with an overprotective AI mother. Their seemingly separate stories intertwine in unexpected ways. Double Fine's adventure features gorgeous hand-painted visuals, excellent voice acting from Elijah Wood and Jennifer Hale, and puzzles that mostly hit the sweet spot of challenging without frustration. The coming-of-age themes resonate throughout both storylines as characters question the systems they were born into. Tim Schafer's return to point-and-click adventures delivers heart and humor. Sale ends April 27th.
Come on, puppy, puppy, puppy. Oh look, it's another Grab and Gary robot. Can't wait to...
Surf across a flooded world as Sigrid, a young girl who discovers she can walk on water with the help of a mysterious shadow. As you glide across the ocean surface, you'll uncover the history of this drowned civilization and help reconnect isolated communities. The movement feels incredible, combining skating, surfing, and swinging mechanics into a fluid traversal system. The cel-shaded aesthetic creates a world that balances melancholy with hope. Combat is simple but satisfying as you battle the darkness consuming the archipelago. A short but memorable adventure about grief and connection. Sale ends April 26th. A playful adventure where you collect character and item cards to solve situations across a folktale landscape. Rather than traditional inventory puzzles, you experiment by playing different combinations of cards to see what happens, often with unpredictable and humorous results. The hand-drawn art style feels like a children's storybook come to life, with exaggerated characters and expressive animations. Amanita Design's trademark wordless storytelling shines as you help a motley crew of travelers achieve their goals. A short but delightful experience that encourages experimentation over conventional puzzle solving. Sale ends April 28th. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment, let's chat about it. See you in the next one.